It's a Russian op named Hardbas. Pours vodka on floor and like a cap can is a tripwire that is ignited by vodka. I love this operator because I myself love hard bass and love Slavic culture. I think it's interesting, so much so that I actually own a Kalashnikov. So yeah, your boy's strapped. What is up, guys? I am the Senator, and today I'm going to be going over your best and worst operator ideas. So this is part 3 in a series where you guys send me your best or worst operator ideas. Everyone has an operator idea, so it's fun to see what you guys come up with. Now, I have over 1,000 comments on my last video, and a vast majority of them are you guys sending in your operator ideas. I looked through most of them and picked around 15 that I found really interesting. So if you have an operator idea, make sure to comment it down below. I've also received close to 100 DMs on my Instagram with operator ideas, and I just want to say thank you to those who submitted it through Instagram. I know I asked you guys to submit it through Instagram as well as the YouTube comments, but moving forward, I would prefer if you'd submit them only through the comments. It's just easier for me to go through them if they're all on YouTube. And before I get into the video, I just want to say that I'm sorry if you had an idea that didn't make it into this video. Even as I'm recording this, I'm still getting notifications constantly of operator ideas coming in. So try to comment your operator idea on this video as soon as possible. That way you have a higher chance of being in the next video. So enough of the preface, let's get into it. Okay, the first one on this list is one of my favorites because it's based off one of my favorite games, TF2. This submission is from OW Gamer, and he says, Demo Man is literally the Demo Man from TF2, not even updating his graphics to match the game, just the same cartoon Demo Man. Has all the abilities like in TF2 games, and the weapons you can buy in the Team Fortress store can be bought with Renown and equipped. So for those of you who never played TF2, one, I recommend that you do that as soon as possible. You can get it for free on Steam right now. It's one of the best games ever made, and it's basically like Overwatch, the original Overwatch, but this is actually good. But anyways, Demo Man is basically a mad black man with an eye patch who runs around with a grenade launcher. So while this wouldn't be a realistic operator, this mission did put a smile on my face. This next mission comes from Lemon Pie, and his operator idea is named Hunter. It's a defender and has a gadget that has 2 to 3 sensors that look like a claymore. When an attacker steps in the area effect, you get a jackal effect of a ping that tracks them for 3 seconds, and the trap is a one-time use to where it can be destroyed at the end of the 3 seconds. So I really like this idea, but I think it would be better if it was used as an attacker instead, similar to the way that you'd use a Gridlock or a Nomad. Nomad is an example of an operator that you would always want on your squad to protect you from late flanks, and so having an operator that can do what Nomad does, and instead of, stopping them in their tracks, this pings them, and I kind of like that aspect. Maybe have it set up to where you have to place it just like a claymore, so while it wouldn't be as strong as an air jab in that you could probably get rid of this a whole lot easier, I think it would balance it out to where you'd have an incentive to choose between Nomad or Hunter, and one isn't absurdly better than the other. So thank you, Lemon Pie, for this submission. Felix submitted an operator idea named Venus. The attacker has a gadget that is a hose that comes out of a backpack on his back. It sprays a yellow liquid that blinds the defender hit by it. It also lights them on fire for a short time. I don't really think I have to say more. Daniel submitted an operator by the name of Zoot, and the gadget is a drone that shoots a little microchip into the defenders and reveals their health and their operator. This is then displayed below the top of the screen just as yours is. Okay, so I love this idea for 2 main reasons. The first reason being that it's something that is not in the game. We have nothing like this in the game, so thank you, Dan, for being original and not trying to put a spin on something that's already in the game, because that's what a lot of these operator ideas do. The second reason I love this idea is because it's something that could be viable but not game breaking. You have to balance the drone depending on how many microchips does each drone get, and is Zoot the only one who can see the enemy's health. But I think this could be one of the more useful operators. It can be made into a way where it's not completely broken. So again, thank you, Daniel, for being original, and this is actually a diamond in the rough. The Triangle 1 has a defender idea, and this gadget is a drill, probably has 2 of them, that's pretty much like a Maverick torch but for a defender, used to make peepholes on reinforced walls. To not make it overpowered, the hole should be noticeable from both sides, not a big hole, but maybe different texture on the wall surrounding the hole, and make it loud AF. So I'm not saying that this is a good idea or a bad idea. I just thought that this was an interesting idea, and it's in this video because it's something that, I don't think needs to be brought in the game, but it's a very original idea. And to me, a lot of these submissions are similar. So thank you, the Chongo one, for submitting this original idea. Shrek's grandmother submitted an idea of an operator named John, can either be attacker or defender. The gadget is none. It's more passive that allows him to curse anyone out that's in his way. Example, John might be sitting in kid's bedroom. If someone walks in, they'll get their feelings hurt and we will be forced to run away. John will be the first operator to be 9 feet tall, towering over other operators. Now, I'm not saying that this is great, but I am saying that Ubisoft needs to explore this idea. As for this next submission, I'm not really sure who submitted it because they submitted like 4 or 5 different operators in this comment, and this is like the second one on the list, so it doesn't have their name on there, so I apologize for the person who submitted this. But anyway, the primary gadget for this operator has a little heat sensor dart that sticks to any surface. These heat sensor darts can sense enemies in its area. It can also detect enemies through walls, except reinforced walls. It will mark an enemy when triggered, will make it loud beeping noises such as the new proximity alarms that defenders have. This will confuse the defending team. So this is a very interesting idea, and the only thing I'm not crazy about it is the automatic ping. It's a solid idea, but I think that it would be better set up as a defender gadget rather than an attacker gadget. So take the defender and give them 2 of these things that they can put anywhere, and have it set up to where the defender isn't really alerted when someone is near the dart, but they have to pull out a device that shows them when someone's in the vicinity of that dart, similar to Pulse. But, they don't have to be within 10 meters of the device, but they have to be near the dart. This next submission comes from Nick Keaton, and the operator name is Crater from Iceland. The primary gadget is called the entry lock. Crater has 1 entry lock. The entry lock attaches to any door or window to make the entry point basically useless. It has a similar mechanic to a barricade, but is an unbreakable barricade. It is see-through from both sides, but you cannot shoot through it or break it in any way. It is a way to lessen how many different places the enemy can rush you from. So I feel like this operator wouldn't be as broken as a lot of people would think, and I think if you made it to where this barrier could be taken down by hard breachers, that would actually make it very balanced. And I say this because as of right now, we already have 4 hard breachers in this game, and it's been confirmed that sometime this season, we're going to have attackers that are getting hard breaching gadgets. So instead of, smokes or frags or flashbangs or anything like that, they'll have a device that can make hard breaching possible. So I don't think this would be too ridiculous as most people would think. So thank you, Nick, for this very unique operator idea. This next submission comes from Cheeky Briki. It's a Russian op named Hardbass. Pours vodka on floor and like a cap can is a tripwire that is ignited by vodka. Primary weapons, the AK-47 and the Sausage 12. I love this operator because I myself love hard base and I love Slavic culture. I think it's interesting. So much so that I actually own a Kalashnikov. As well as a Mosin, but that's hanging up right now. So yeah, your boy's strapped. So thank you, Cheeky Briki, for submitting this. Drew Sundell submitted Meaty Boy. Nationality, Swedish. Primary gun, the AUG 2. Secondary gun is Meatballs. Meaty Boy's ability is his secondary gun, Meatballs. He starts with 3 meatballs, and they are rechargeable. Meaty Boy can throw these meatballs at enemies, resulting in a one-shot kill. But the downside is when he throws the meatballs, he screams at the top of his lungs, "Eat these balls," in Swedish. He will be dropped with a Muppet hardened elite skin, which is just the Swedish chef from Muppets. Next, Shav Turtle submitted an attacker with a drone that can shoot cameras that stick on the ceiling walls, sort of like an attacker Valk. And this is a very interesting idea, and I feel like this would be an operator that would be insanely good, but not too oppressive. It could be oppressive, but it could be, made in a way that it wouldn't be. Maybe make it to where the cams are more noticeable than, say, a Black Eye, considering that the defense doesn't really have any, tools to be able to find it. They don't have a Thatcher to take it out, and they don't have an IQ to find exactly where it's at. So I feel like there could be a way to make this balanced, but I do like the idea of having your drone put a camera somewhere hidden on site. This next submission comes from Dawson, and he says, a 2-speed attacker from South Sudan with a canister of tear gas that blurs and disrupts your vision. You also wouldn't be able to aim in the gas, and you'd be grunting loudly so the enemy can hear you, and the gas would slowly expand so you escape from the gas easily, but the operator could clear rooms and force rotations for weapons. He would have the Draco, which is an AK with no stock. Okay, so I think this would actually be somewhat of a great idea as long as the tear gas isn't lethal and it covers a wide area of effect, but, you know, of course, balance it so it's not oppressive. But an operator like this would make picking Glaz and Warden a lot more viable. So thank you for the submission, Dawson. I really like it. This next submission comes from Jake Kim, and this operator's name is Saints. Saints has a throwable that can scan 5 meters and only shows the enemy for a second or two. An alternative version would be that can scan but only shows the ping and shows the player's location every 2 seconds 3 times. So this is an interesting idea because it's a way for you to gather information without being as vulnerable as you would be if you were droning out. Still, droning out would be the best way to get information, but if you're in a spot where time is running out and droning out is a big risk because you may be left in a position where, you know, they could run up on you, this would be a very great operator, especially for people who like to solo queue. So thank you for this submission. Landon Durham says, a bulletproof drone with a remote detonated flash like Blitz, however, it can blow up. Okay, so you guys know that I really like operator concepts that rely on drones, and I really like this concept. However, making the drone bulletproof and making it blow up would be overpowered. So, but I do like the idea of a drone that works similar to a flash grenade. So I say make it to where it works exactly the same as a twitch drone. It can't jump, it can be stopped by mute or Mozzie, and give it like 2 flashes per drone, and it recharges and gets 1 more after 45 seconds. I think this would be a very interesting idea. Javier says, a good operator idea is one that can throw reinforcements into hatches above the... It just stops there. But I'm putting this in this video not because I think it's a great idea, but because it's a concept that I see in every video multiple times. And this operator would probably be more situational than Warden, because the only time you'll ever really use this operator would be on cafe, theme park, or any map that has just one single hatch. This would be an operator that would be used primarily just on cafe and theme park, where going through hatches is a very popular form of entry. Other than that, this would be one of the most boring operators. Yes, hatches exist on every map, but for a vast majority of hatches, you can just go upstairs and get rid of it. So it's not a big deal. And imagine trying to attack on, you know, theme park without using a hatch. That'd be very, very difficult, limiting yourself only to red and white stairs and the window repels. Oliver Robinson says, I have an idea. She would be a 3-speed operator with the AUG in the SPAS 12. Her ability that she'd be able to run out of the objective without being detected for 15 seconds. She could also have her ability like Cav. I don't got a name, but maybe you could figure this one out. First off, you don't get detected for running out of the objective. You get detected for running out of the building. Second of all, I don't think I need to tell anybody how ridiculous this is. The defense already has an advantage in this game. And so giving this would just be an awful idea, and it would encourage, you know, runouts, which are already a problem. There are a lot of people that, you know, want to get rid of runouts. I'm not one of those people, but I do see a problem with having an operator that encourages people to run out. Okay, this is going to be our last idea, and this comes from Mr. Epicness 9. His operator idea is named Loki. Operator gadget, the ammo box that can be found in situations mode, allowing defenders to gain an extra gadget, like an extra smoke grenade. They can place 2, allowing 2 defenders to gain one of their gadgets and ammo back. Okay, so I like this idea as far as ammo is concerned. How many times will you really run out of ammo in this game? But getting an extra gadget is a really neat idea, and it would be very powerful to, you know, get an extra 1 or 2 proximity alarms, bulletproof cameras, impact nades, whatever. So I like this idea, so good job, Mr. Epicness 9. Okay, so I had more on this list, but I didn't want this video to be extremely long, so I want to say thank you to everyone who participated. If you submitted an idea and I didn't present it here, it's not because I didn't think it was a good idea, but because I probably did not see it. I'm getting a lot of submissions, so if you have an idea, make sure to comment it as soon as possible to have a bigger chance of seeing it in the next video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like. That helps me out a lot. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you can be notified every time I post a video. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm the Senator, and as always, have a good one.